Yeah, hi friends. Welcome back to my channel. My name is ChandanSudip, and today I am going to deal with the topic simple sustainability projects you can do at home or college. Uh, Basically, this is an important video for again for the freshers, young professionals who want to transit into sustainability domain or who wants to build their profile in sustainability. So the thing is like, I have come across people asking me, I'm a fresher or I don't have any, experience in sustainability. How do I start with, right? How do I build my experience on sustainability? What kind of projects I should start with such that I gain some kind of experience in ESG and sustainability? Because I haven't joined any company for the time being. I'm a student or just a fresher pass out from the college. So how I should build up? What kind of projects I should do such that I get some kind of hands-on experience in sustainability. So this is an important video for all those freshers, for all those young students, and for all those young professionals who want to build their profile, who want to transit into sustainability or ESG domain friends. So let's deep dive and try to understand what kind of projects suits you to start with your career in sustainability, even if you're not going to work in any organization or any company, but how you can start with having a bit of understanding on sustainability. How can you materialize those concepts into your projects, right? So let's deep dive and understand the simple sustainability projects which you can do at your home or college to start your sustainability projects related journey, friends. So the first kind of project which I would suggest you friends is the energy assessment or mini energy audit, I would call it, which you can conduct in the premises you stay or maybe the home or college, the lab or the classroom. So you can conduct energy assessment of the premises, right? What you can do is you can just try to first of all identify which all are the high energy consumption appliances present within the facility, within the premises, right? And also try to understand the wastage of energy is how it's happening, and then also you can uh, try to understand how the energy is consumed within the premises, right? So you can also think about identifying the high energy consumption areas, right? Then what can be done to minimize the energy consumption or increase the energy efficiency? Maybe it can be replacing the devices, or appliances or whatever, any other factors. So you have to understand the energy profile within the facility you stay or your classroom, your college, your home, whatever. And then you can try to prepare a short report and with the improvement points, what all energy improvement points can be possible. So you can have this kind of study done to start with to understand energy, how energy is analyzed or how energy assessment is done, right? So this is something very short, small exercise which you can try to do it in your premises where you study or where you live in, right? And this can be added to your CV as a beginner. So you can, write that you have performed an energy efficiency assessment and identified, like, let's say 10% or 12% potential of energy savings within the facility you have audited or you have assessed, right? This kind of, profile, you can add it to your CV or your resume, and you can highlight this while you go for the interview, right? So this will add something to your profile, right? Okay. So the next one is the water audit. The same like the energy audit I had discussed in the last slide. This is the water audit. So mainly you focus on the water assessment, right? The way you were focusing on the energy assessment, here you focus on the water assessment. You try to understand the water profile, right? How much water is consumed, where are the water wastages going on, how you can reduce the water consumption or water efficiency, think of, right? So you can identify the leaks, any leaks happening, or wastage of water is happening within the premises you are living or maybe you are studying. So you can try to understand the water profile. You can assess the water profile, and you can also try to convince the concerned stakeholders how to reduce the water consumption, how to efficiently use the water, right? So you can do this kind of exercise as well, and you can add it to your CV where you can write it down like, okay, I have conducted a water use study and proposed conservation measures by reducing, 15 to 20% of water consumption. or wastage, right? So this is something also can add to your profile in sustainability domain, friends. So to start with, energy assessment is one profile I had discussed. Other one is water assessment. This is another profile you can add to your PT, you can add it to your profile, your CV, and you can discuss or you can present it to your interviewer when you sit for the interview, friends. So this is something very important exercise. You can go for it as a beginner, as a fresher, as a young professional, friends, who wants to transit into sustainability domain. Now, same like the energy and water assessment or audit I was talking about, you can go for the other one, which is waste audit or waste assessment. Same for the home or hostel or college or any premises you stay or you study. You can conduct again this kind of waste audit where you can try to understand the kind of waste which is happening in the premises, or how can you mitigate those waste, right? So you can identify the top waste categories like plastic, food, paper, and then you can suggest the concerned stakeholders in those premises how to reduce the what strategies can be adopted to reduce the waste, right, friend? So this is another profile we can think of, and then once you conduct this kind of assessment, you can prepare a short report where you can identify all the different kind of waste happening in the premises. Then the top categories of waste also you can identify, and then you can suggest or recommend how to reduce those waste within the premises. So you can add this to your CV that you have conducted a 7-day audit or 10-day audit, waste audit, and developed a waste reduction action plan. This kind of profile you can add it to your CV, your resume, and you can also discuss about this thing when you sit for the interview in front of the interviewer, right? This is the third one which I think can be helpful for you as a beginner, as a starter or fresher to start a journey on projects in sustainability or ESG domain, friends. The fourth one, which I can think of, is like uh, carbon footprint calculator of your home or premises where you study or where you live, right? Or any other facility you think of, which you can think of, having the carbon footprint assessment. But this is something a bit more in technical side. It's not easy to calculate your footprint, carbon footprint. So if you have a bit of understanding of how the formula works or what kind of formula is applied, how the emission factor is applied to calculate the carbon footprint, then only you can think of this kind of assessment. Otherwise, I would not recommend here as a beginner to start with carbon footprint calculator. You can start with the energy assessment, which I was talking about. You can start with the water assessment, which I talked about. You can start with the waste management or waste assessment, which I talked about. If you have a bit of understanding, conceptual understanding, and also how it's calculated, how the carbon footprint is calculated, if you have this kind of understanding, then you can think of also doing kind of projects, short, small projects on the carbon footprint calculation, which is also possible with the help of Excel. So we not have any tools for that. Those calculations. A simple Excel is enough to calculate the carbon footprint. But again, if you know the formula, how to implement the formula, what kind of formulas are required to calculate the carbon footprint. But as a beginner, this is your choice. If you have understanding, basic understanding, you can go for the carbon footprint calculator as a project, friends. And you can present this, you can add it to the CV, that you have built a home carbon footprint calculator using Excel and the GHG protocol which is used. So if you have understanding, conceptual understanding, you can build this project, add it to your CV, and to present it beautifully in front of the interviewer, friends. The fifth exercise which you can think of is the campus sustainability mapping, wherein like the assessments which I had discussed before, the energy, water, waste. So all these kind of assessments once you perform, you can map them. You can integrate all these kind of different projects into one single project, which is the sustainability mapping or sustainability project, you can call it, right? So what you can do, you can start with the assessments which I had discussed before, one by one, and then you can add all of them and prepare a single report, which is a sustainability report for the campus, for the home, or any other premises you can think of. So you can club all these different assessments into one report, and you can call it a simple sustainability report for the campus or for the home or for the any other facility. And this can also be added to your CV, and you can present in front of the interviewer like you have conducted a campus sustainability assessment, which covers all energy, waste, and water system, right? So all these three systems, you can do the assessment and then integrate all these energy, water, and waste into one uh, report, the sustainability report for the premises you want to have the project, right? This is one another exercise, which is important exercise, mapping all the three different KPIs into one single sustainability report, right? So this is another project I can think of, which will be very helpful for you as a starter, as a fresher, or a young professional building a profile in sustainability management. So I hope the content was useful for you to understand how you can start a journey, even if you have not joined any company organization, right? So how can you can think of doing or conducting or having a sustainability project, right? So do let me know in the comment section, friends, which one of the sustainability project which I had discussed you think to start with. Do you want to start with energy or water or waste, whichever you're comfortable with, or if you have a bit of basic understanding, right? So do let me know in the comment which one of the sustainability projects you think to start with, or even let me know if you have already started any of the projects I had discussed in the earlier slides, friends. So thank you for watching the video, friends. I hope the content was useful. Do let me know if any query you have, any thoughts you have on improving the video or the content. To suggest, you can follow me on LinkedIn, friends. I will just drop the LinkedIn link in the description. Also, you can email me, right? If you have any query, any suggestions, anything you want to discuss with me, you can email me on my email ID, friends. So if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe the channel. Also, please like and share the video if you found the content useful, because this will help me, having more confidence on preparing more better content for you on sustainability profile or sustainability domain, friends. So this will give me a bit of confidence. So do subscribe the channel, friends, and also follow me on LinkedIn. Do write me to me if any suggestions, if you have any queries, if you have on my email ID. So please do comment if you have any query or suggestions for the next video you want me to prepare. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Until then, take care of yourself and keep learning.